Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this meeting of the Council of the Town of Oakville. I'm calling the meeting to order and inviting everyone to rise and join Council in O Canada. I even have a microphone. Council, are there any declarations of pecuniary interest? Seeing none. How would you like to dispose of your minutes this evening? Councillor Duddick moves approval. Councillor Adams seconds. Any discussion or changes? All in favor? Opposed if any, and the minutes are adopted. We have no public presentations or delegations this evening, and we do have standing committee from Administrative Services Committee. And I would ask you how you want to deal with that. Looking for a hand. Councillor Duddick moves the committee report. No. Councillor Adams seconds it. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed, if any, and that too is carried. Council, our first discussion item is the ratification of the QP 136 contract, and you have the material. Are there any questions on the matter? Is there a motion? Councillor Hutchins moves it. Councillor Elgar seconds it. All those in favor? Opposed if any, and that is carried, and congratulations to both sides and one and all. We have no advisory committee minutes. You have your information items that have been circulated electronically and your status of outstanding issues. We do have a notice of motion, and I would ask you to consider waiving the procedure bylaw notice to members of council provision in order to give the public more notice. And this matter is brought by Councillor Adams and Councillor Knoll, and it involves delaying the start time on March 29th, 2016 standing committee meetings. May I assume that the waiving of the procedure bylaw motion will be moved by Councillors Adams and seconded by Knoll? Thank you. Discussion, all in favor? Opposed? The procedure bylaw is waived, and that permits us to put on the floor the motion that the start time for the Administrative Services Committee and the Community Services Committee meetings scheduled for 7 p.m. on March 29th be delayed until 8 p.m. on March 29th. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Are there any regional reports or questions regarding town boards and advisory committees? Are there any requests for reports? I see one here. Councillor Adams and Councillor Lischina, would you like to speak to this?
There, now I can speak to it. I'm just going to read it out for members of the public who might be watching tonight, and that is that staff report back with options to improve the regulation of lodging houses. 2, that staff review best practices to provide options to ensure basic health and safety needs to lodging house renters that are to be met, and to protect renters from exploitative practices, and that more effective registration, monitoring, and enforcement is available to ensure compliance with standards. And 3, that staff report on planning, licensing, bylaw, communication, and any other tools available for consideration. This is an opportunity for our staff to review best practices from other municipalities, particularly those that might have university or colleges within them, to deal with issues associated with poor quality housing and issues associated with poor property standards and other issues that might crop up around those homes. We do have a number of lodging homes that are in the area, and they do from time to time cause troubles for neighbors, and I'd like to make sure that we stay on top of the best practices that are out there. Thank you.
All right, all those in favor? Opposed, if any? The request is granted, and we'll look forward to that. Council, if I could have a mover and seconder for the bylaws. Councillor Knoll?
Can I beg your indulgence for a second and just dial back to other business for a second, or regional reports? Yes. I just have a very quick report I wanted to mention to all members of council, and I will be sending out an email as well to let you know that we're going to be hosting a public information meeting with the GTAA, which is now referred to as Toronto Pearson. They've gone back. It's Back to the Future, actually. And we're holding that on April 7th in the South Atrium here at Town Hall. And the purpose of the meeting is basically to allow citizens to come and speak to representatives of Toronto Pearson, hopefully NAV Canada, to talk about air traffic and any other issues related to airport operations that might interest them. So circle that date on your calendar, April 7th. Let your constituents know. And there'll be a story about that, or a small article about that, in the upcoming newsletter in the Ward 5 section, but it's certainly open town-wide, and it's from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock, and it's open house style, so there's no presentations. People can drop in. There'll be lots of boards and lots of people from the airport to answer questions.
Thank you, Councillor Knoll. Councillor Hutchins?
Will that be sent out to us in an official notice?
Everything was finally confirmed today, so I will be sending out an email with details, and then I will also forward the communication that Toronto Pearson's putting together for me as well. So I'll make sure that you are kept up to date and that you have materials that you can circulate as you see fit.
And Council, I'd like to extend our condolences to the family of former Councillor Paul Farley, who passed on February 22nd, and in your name, I attended his funeral today to represent us, and it was a very fine testimony to a man who was always characterized as a perfect gentleman when he was on council for almost 20 years, and had participated so fully in the life of his church that the priest said that there was no aspect of church life he had not volunteered or worked in. So with that, I'll turn now to consideration of the bylaws. Councillor Duddock, Councillor Lischina, thank you. This is authority for the 2016-16 bylaw to amend the noise bylaw, re-ASC's item number 4, and 2017 and 2037, the confirmatory bylaw for this meeting. All those in favor? Opposed, if any, and the bylaws are adopted. That completes our brief agenda. It's been great working with you, and we are adjourned.